Alright, so I've talked about atheism. A lot of people have been talking about atheism. And there's not been a lot of people that talk about deism. So let's talk about deism. To me, atheism is still the best approach. But here's the problem with deism. Deism is better than deism because deism is more rational and realistic, They follow the science path, just like atheists. Except they throw the supernatural part into it that science can't explain. That the God's outside of time, and but it's not the God of any religions, and they don't believe in heaven and hell. They're technically atheists except for the supernatural part, but that would make them deists. So they're deist, deist, but they share a little some with the atheists. So if there was a debate, they would be against deists, just like atheists would be. Well, the problem with deists is they believe in this God. The problem is, where did the God come from? If 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 there was a God and another God and another God and another God and another God, you have infinite regression. Let alone if everything's accordingly to science-based, how things develop, how things evolved, which there's no supernatural aspect ever, even to this day. Where the hell did the God come in play? Let alone what does it look like? And where is it? So once you throw the God in the picture, you're kind of going with the supernatural. That's where theism has that problem. Not to mention that the religion is terrible, and a lot of contradictions in the Bible. And that's where the problem with deism is. The God concept, supernatural. Just because we don't know everything, how everything came to be, how it all started, doesn't mean there's a God. It's more using the brain power, really thinking it out, eliminating this concept of a God, because where did it come from? That's why atheism is still the best approach. It's a process of billions of years, how things came to be. Before the Big Bang, dark energy, dark matter. Before that, space. There's actually an article of actually how space started. So in essence, we've almost, well, but we've got a lot of information to this point now where anybody can be an atheist because we have so much information. We know that how the space came to be about. We're just missing little details, but it might be possible in a couple of years we're going to explain the whole thing. And if not, still doesn't mean there's a God. It just means that we won't be around to explain the whole thing, because interstellar travel won't be until 50 years. Maybe we have to go to other worlds, other wormholes might be dangerous to go through. So in actuality, if the society, if they didn't come all atheists, if they came deist, that would be a lot better. Because for the deist, you don't have to have this fear of hell. There's no hell, and there's no heaven. There's this, you live and you die. Except they believe what science can't describe or ascribe to. That's where their supernatural God comes from. And it's either a figureless God or some kind of force out there that's beyond science. But if you say that, what happens if it's aliens on other planets? That's beyond science. That means they have their own technology, their own elements, their own, gravity could be different, it could be different laws. Then there's no God needed for that. It could be a different species, a different life form, a single element, alien artifact that created thousands, billions of things. We just don't know. think Lawrence Krauss said it best. There are things we know, there's things we don't know, and things we do not know that we don't know. That would be the third one. Obviously, when you put the aliens in there, and other planets, other worlds, and other elements, and other weapons, and other technology. It's way advanced beyond our civilization, but beyond our comprehension. And that would be more plausible than a God. And that's why atheists could believe in that than God. Because God is the supreme entity that can do it all and has never done it all, has never interfered in life. That's the problem with deism. I mean, they have good knowledge, and they're not stupid. It's just they're not thinking hard. They're not thinking all the way through. You know, once you put the God, you shot yourself in the foot. Be a deist until the end of time. You know, sort it all out, do the research, look at all the signs, study it all, and figure it out until your lifetime. And if still you feel you're going to become a deist at old age. Don't give up. Don't become a deist just yet. Because once you put God in the picture, you shot yourself in the foot. And you say, well, what the hell is the point of learning? Keep on going. God did it all. That's why atheist is the best approach. And aliens or extraterrestrial or technology or elements or chemicals that we have not discovered throws it in there. Not a God of and you know what kind of God is it? God of the universe, God of the mind, God of the soul, God of the ocean, God of the planets, God of the star. You know, that's where the problem lies with deism. They got good points, but they're not thinking all the way through the hardest. That's why atheism is the best. You really got to think this out, based on what's natural, based on what's real. Throw God in the picture, you shot yourself in the foot, just like Matt Dillahunty said. Being atheist all the way through, then old age and died. But even if you become a deist, what's the point? You still shot yourself in the foot. You know, you're already saying, well, science couldn't explain it all, therefore there had to have been a God. No. I probably would be an atheist at the end. Like I said, we might never know and explain all of it in our lifetime. But maybe in the kids, that have kids and kids, that generation might be able to find out how it all started. Because in 50 years, there will be interstellar travel. And that means you can go to different worlds, different planets. It's light years away to go to exoplanets. We don't even have that technology. We don't have time travel yet. Time travel might be possible in the future, they said, but we just don't have that technology. And it won't be a while. It won't be close to. It'll be like a long time, 50 years, you know, it's going to be a while. We are way behind. We're a type 1 civilization. We're not a type 2, type 3, type 4. We're way behind Star Trek, way behind Star Wars. We won't see that in our lifetime. But those kids, you know, 50 years from now on, they might experience that. They'll be very lucky. Unless somebody find out how to do time travel quickly. I have to say, we did have a breakthrough. They have made a hover motorbike that floats, kind of like the Snowspeeder's Return of the Jedi. They actually have that now. It's possible. It runs on gasoline and propulsion system. I think it might be possible they could have flying cars, but our civilization is way behind. I mean, we're in 2014. 5 years from now, it's not going to be different. 10 years from now, maybe 10, 20, we might see. But in terms of Beam Me Up Scotty and and wormholes, going through wormholes and visiting other galaxies and planets. We're way behind. Time travel, way behind. Hologram, holodeck. It's all science fiction. Some of the science fiction has come true in our time, but we're way behind, you know. So yes, extraterrestrials, alien life, definitely more plausible than a supernatural God entity. Absolutely. Supernatural God entity is the most extraordinary evidence required. It's not regular evidence. We're talking extraordinary evidence. Carl Sagan says extraordinary evidence requires extraordinary claims. So that's why I'm not a deist. Like I said, live your life all the way through, and if the time you die, and it's still you have questions and it's not solved, then I guess you can throw it out in the picture. Don't give up just yet. Be not the atheist all the way through. It would be good if the society were deist instead of theist. Definitely be a lot less wars, less religious wars. Probably no religious wars at all. Because deist has nothing to do with any of the God in the Bible. They're like atheists. They follow science, but they say what science can't explain. This God is outside of time, outside of boundary. It's way behind science comprehension. That's the only thing difference between the atheist and deist. If the whole society would be deist instead of atheist, that'd be great for atheists, all society. But it's still deists, even though they believe in a God. It wouldn't affect anybody saying you would go to hell. They don't believe in hell. They don't believe in heaven. They just believe in everything natural, but that God is just things science can explain. That God is just way behind science comprehension, and that's it. So they're deists or atheist friends, actually. They're against the theist. All that negativity of the Bible, all that terrible commandments, and terrible book, all those atrocities and terrible